Hi there, welcome to the channel. So in today's video, we just wanted to talk about B2B or software as a service lead generation strategies you could try today. So for today's session, I'm just going to give 8 sources that you can use to generate leads for your B2B business or your software as a service or SaaS company. So number 1 is generating leads from existing platforms. So you might think, well, what are existing platforms? So existing platforms are platforms that have your audience currently sat on those platforms. For example, if you are a software company or a B2B company and you sell to accountants, those accountants probably sit on the Zero marketplace. So that would be an example of an existing platform, right? So if you're thinking, okay, well, where can I find my potential customers? You're thinking, okay, the Zero marketplace is a good place to start. In the same vein, if you are an organization that sells to, let's say, HubSpot agencies, the first place you want to look is, the HubSpot marketplace. Or if you sell to Salesforce agencies, the first place you want to look at is, the Salesforce marketplace. Another example, let's say you sell to e-commerce companies or retailers. The sort of first place you want to look at is the Magento or WooCommerce marketplace, or even the Shopify marketplace. So this gives you an example of the places that you can actually look. So the key point is to ask yourself, what are the existing platforms that your customers are currently on, and then see if you can actually acquire your customers on those platforms. So that's number 1. Number 2 and number 3 are fairly straightforward. So number 2 is paid search. If it makes sense for your business, a way to generate leads would be definitely paid search if it makes sense for your business, and also if you can afford it, that is. Paid search doesn't work for every single company. So if there's a bit of demand for some of the search queries that you have, then sure, go for paid search, because the intent when it comes to paid search tends to be quite high. So it means in some instances, your conversions will be quite high. Number 3 is paid social. So paid social, when I say paid social, I mean platforms like LinkedIn, like Facebook, like even Instagram, Pinterest. Now I'm mentioning all these platforms because I like to point out something. Please only try any one of these paid social channels if it makes sense for your business, right? If your customers don't hang out on these platforms, then there's no point visiting these platforms to try and target your audience. Some people would say to me sometimes, hey, should we try Instagram ads? And then I'll ask, are your customers on Instagram? And if the answer is no, then I'm like, well, no, we shouldn't try Instagram ads, right? So, or hey, let's try TikTok. I'm like, well, are your customers on TikTok? If the answer is no, let's not do it. It'll be just a waste of money and it'll just be a fad, right? So only advertise where you believe your customers are. Number 4, pretty straightforward, is direct sales outreach. So, everyone knows this, the best way to make money is to sell. So, reach out to your customers regardless of the platform. So if they are on LinkedIn, go for LinkedIn. If you can't find your customers on LinkedIn, then of course, any other channel that makes sense for you would be ideal. Number 6 is to target groups. So again, this only applies if it makes sense for your business, right? So let's say you're selling to web developers, for example. So if you look on Facebook or on LinkedIn, you will be able to find web developer groups on these platforms. So then you could target these web developer groups with your offer and effectively try and sell to them. Number 7 is review sites. So for B2B companies and software as a service companies, review sites tend to be quite good. So if you're a software company or even a sort of service-based company that serves B2B or B2G, then you're looking at review sites like Capterra, Software Advice, Clutch.io or Clutch in the UK, Good Firms again in the UK. But in mainland Europe, there will be similar companies out there. Globally, there will be similar companies out there, right? that sort of have a list of companies per industry. So you want to look for these types of companies. In the US, there will be similar companies as well. North America, there will be South America, there will be similar companies as well. So Africa, there will be similar companies as well. So you want to look for these companies and see how you can actually use these companies to reach your audience, right? And then the other lead generation channel would be influencer or partner marketing. So again, if this applies to your sector or to your business, then sure, go for it. So the key here is to identify influencers or partners who have access to your customers right now, regardless of where they are. They could be on Twitter, they could be on YouTube, they could be on Facebook, LinkedIn. So the key is to identify those people, find out if they do indeed have your audiences attached to their name, and if they do, reach out to them and do a collaboration for a bit of promotion. Now, I know several clients that have chosen this sort of strategy and it's worked amazingly well for them. So it just takes a bit of thinking through, sort of asking yourself, does this person truly have access to our customers? Doing a bit of investigation to see if that's true or not, and if it is, approaching that influencer and effectively, approaching them to do a bit of co-marketing. Sometimes it might require payment, sure. You just it'll just be a case of working out if the cost of customer acquisition makes sense for you, right? So if, for example, someone says, hey, I'm going to charge you $6,000 to advertise to my audience of 20K people, that are all your target customers, so then you want to weigh the cost benefit of that versus, let's say, doing something else, right? Something else could be, attending a trade show. So you might think, well, which one is more likely to bring you the biggest revenue for that effort? So of course, then you go for whichever one you think would be the best option for your money spent, right? So the last consideration is trade associations. So this channel tends to be quite overlooked. Now, what we found is every single industry has a trade association. So the key here is to identify, okay, what are some of the trade associations inside of your industry or vertical, and then identify those and then approach them, right? A lot of trade associations are not well funded, so oftentimes they are very happy when companies approach them with a commercial offer. Now the key here, especially those ones that don't accept money, because they have to be seen to be neutral. The key here is to package your commercial proposal so that it's not too commercial, right? A bit difficult, but it's doable, right? So it has to come across as being helpful. For example, one of our clients sells in a financial sector or financial services, and one of the biggest trade association is a non-commercial organization. So what we had to do was approach the trade association and say, hey, we're going to offer educational content to your audience. And that was the only way the trade association has sort of accepted us or our clients to promote on that particular channel. And what turned out to be just a series of webinars became one of the best performing channels for them that generated them the most leads, right? So I hope this was useful. Thank you very much. Subscribe to our channel, follow our page, and if you have any questions, send us an email and we'll be more than happy to help you out. All right, take care. Bye-bye.